Hello, we're live with another episode of BS Busters. So here we go, folks.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, someone was playing something. So we're back with another fantastic episode of BS Busters, and this time we're talking old IPs we would like to see brought back. But before we get further, I think Pinky Don is going to have some the news of the week we're going to get through before we get to the main topic. So go ahead, sir. Take us walking through the news of the week.
As my key, the Teen's Choice Awards just announced their nominees for the best video game category.
Oh boy!
And the nominees are Fire Emblem Heroes, Fortnite, Overwatch, Players Unknowns, Battlegrounds, Super Mario Odyssey, and Breath of the Wild.
All right, that's cool.
Not too bad.
I'm surprised that a 2016 title like Overwatch is still being nominated.
Yeah, but Overwatch is really, really popular, so popularity and all that.
Next up on the news, Capcom just revealed that Resident Evil 2 Remake is not coming to the Switch.
And people are surprised. Why?
Because the game was just announced.
Yeah, but it's Capcom, man. They're not going to put that shit on the Switch. I mean, look, man. Capcom, right now, Capcom is between a rock and a hard place. They really
need some help.
Yeah, financially, they're in a tough situation. They don't have money to do a lot of stuff that they used to be able to do. So, I wish things were better, but it's Capcom, and they just love messing up because that's what Capcom does. There's a way to mess something up. They will find it, and they will use it because it's Capcom.
And Capcom responded that we just want to focus on the PS4, Xbox One, and PC at the moment as their reason.
Yep. Makes sense to me. Of course, I'm being facetious, folks.
So fail.
And moving on to the next news, the Nintendo Microsoft partnership with Minecraft crossplay. Has anyone seen the trailer?
You mean, well, I haven't seen the trailer. I just heard how basically they were essentially just like talking shit, like surreptitiously talking shit about Sony. They were like, yeah, with Microsoft and Nintendo Switch, you can cross-play Minecraft with PC players, and the only it's like leaving out the fact that you can't do crossplay with the PS4 version, which surprises no one. To the surprise of no one.
Werewolf Cleric?
But no, I haven't seen it. I mean, it's...
And people are making fun of Sony for not joining the group with their anti-crossplay business.
Here's the thing. They don't have to, here's the thing. The PS4 is the most, has the biggest install base. Even with Sony's bullshit lying about how many they've sold, shit like that. They have no need or want or desire, they have no reason to have crossplay. Basically, I said this before when people are like, man, why don't they have crossplay? Because Sony's like, look, if you want to play with your friend's going to have to buy a PS4. If your friend has it, they're gonna have to get it on. You're gonna have to get it on our system to play with your friends, and that's the way they want it. I mean, I don't know why people are surprised. I can't believe. I mean, what? Why are you angry about it? Like, why are people treating this like it's? I can't believe they did that. I mean, it's Sony. I mean, since when has Sony like been a bastion of fair competition, right?
Right.
Good question there.
So, I mean, like the fact that people are like, man, I can't believe Sony did that. What are you like? What are you surprised about? How is this amazing to you? How are you? But whatever. People will never understand that because gamers are stupid. Because, you know, gamers don't think about what the numbers mean. They just think about the numbers.
Moving on to the next news. So the recent Famitsu article revealed that the proposed plans for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate was finalized back in December 15 when the DLC was coming to a close.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which means any character requests, any requests for characters that appeared after 2016 are unlikely to appear in the game until DLC becomes a thing post-launch. So no Springman, no Rex and Pyra, no Marks, no Pauline.
I mean, I wouldn't be angry about Marks not being in there. I don't think Marks is iconic enough to be there, be in the game. I mean, I like Marks. Don't get me wrong, but he's not at the level as like he's not iconic enough. I don't think to be in Smash Brothers.
No, right now people are begging on Bandana Waddle Dee as the fourth Kirby character.
I mean, Bandana Waddle Dee's been in more games than Marks.
Good point there.
But the one argument they have against that Bandana Waddle Dee might not make it because he's not a Sakurai creation.
So,
and there's this thing called Sakurai bias where he is against including Kirby characters from Kirby games that he did not create it, such as the Kirby's animal friends from Dreamland 2 and 3.
Yeah, but I mean, they shouldn't be in a Smash Brothers game. I mean, I know a lot of people like Ricky and Koo, but let's keep it real. For the average consumer who's really into Kirby, the Kirby games they really care about is Kirby Superstar, Return to Dreamland, the handheld Kirby games that kind of sold really well. Let's see what the original Kirby on the NES and the Game Boy Kirby, which is the first game, Kirby's Adventure. Like that's it. Like Kirby 3, which I mean did not sell all that well. It kind of got overshadowed by Superstar. I mean, I don't think anyone really cared. I mean, you know, I know some people like Ricky Koo and I forgot the other character's name. Yeah, Kine and Gooey. But I mean, like, I'm one of the few people who actually knows those characters. Joe Blow, average Kirby fans gonna be like, I don't give a shit about these people. You know? and look, and I'm the first person who says Smash Brothers is a celebration of all things Nintendo. But even this case, I'm gonna be like, that's a little
iffy.
That's a little too obscure because they were only in 2 games. So I know some people are going to get mad because they always get mad, but I mean,
well, people are already getting mad at least the Waluigi fans to the point where they're spamming 9/11 images and Hitler images at Sakurai's Twitter account to the point again.
Jesus, oh man, this is why I say fuck Waluigi. because people take the shit way too seriously. This is why I don't like the hardcore Smash Brothers fan base, because these are the people. These are the people who take something that should just be, look, Smash Brothers is just your favorite Nintendo characters beating the shit out of each other. That's all it really, at its core. And it's kind of expanded to your favorite iconic video game characters beating the shit out of each other. That's it. Like, why? Like, Waluigi's not that iconic.
He's a side character.
He's not even a side character. They just created him because Wario needed a partner.
Oh.
That can be taken. That can be taken any way. Just saying.
Good point.
He needs a partner.
I mean,
He just needed. I mean, I would have done better. It would have done better. You know what probably would have been better than Waluigi is if they'd given Wario a partner who was just as gross as he was. No. Captain Syrup. That would have been the perfect partner for Wario. His partner is also someone who hates him.
Yeah.
That would have been perfect. Captain Syrup would have been the perfect partner for Wario, rather than Waluigi. Because Captain Syrup fights dirty. She's got bombs and a handgun and a sword.
Yeah.
so how many Wario games did she appear in prior to Mario Tennis?
Let's see. She was in Wario Land 2, Wario Land 3, Wario Land Shake It, like the one on the Wii. I mean, she was like Wario's main antagonist for 3 of his games. And the reason he has his castle is because he stole all of her shit in order to make a wish with a genie. So really, like, she's really important to Wario's character development. So why don't you make her like, that's one of the things that kind of bothers me about Nintendo, and not just Nintendo, like a lot of Japanese gaming companies, like, instead of making like when the history has the female characters something major, they'll retcon it. They did that to Castlevania, which one of the reasons I'm not a huge fan of Igarashi, a little bit, because I'm not cool with that, but whatever.
Did you guys talk
So
about?
at this point, the Waluigi fans have become way worse than Ridley fans.
They're about on par. So really, fans are quiet because they got something. You said something, Sprite?
I said, did y'all already talk about the games you're looking forward to in July? Like, which topic are we on right?
We're still on the first. We're just getting through the news, and then we'll get to games we're looking forward to, and then we're going with games IPs that need to be brought back from the big 3 and then third parties.
Okay, cool. I didn't miss anything.
No, we're still kind of early.
Continuing on with the video game news.
Yeah, people sending rude threats to Sakurai about a shitty character that most people don't give a shit about. I think I may be a little.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. So it turns out that Nintendo Treehouse will be localizing Fire Emblem 3 Houses rather than I-8. And our contributors at Video Game Facts are preparing for the anti-censorship people to draw their weapons once more next year.
Well, if they have a romancing object with an underage child, then that shit's going to be changed, and I'm okay with that because, I mean, what type of perv wants to have a fictional romance with a child?
Good question.
And otaku, that's why.
No, that's not an otaku thing. That's just someone who has problems. You know, this girl's 15. I'm 25. Your ass is going to jail. That's statutory rape, son. Even fictionally, you need to go to jail. And there's something mentally wrong with you if you think that is a appropriate like. And here's the thing, like Nintendo is a company, they want to cover their ass. They're not going to have that in their games, and I don't blame them. Like some people get angry when you say that. Like, how could you say that? I mean, if you owned a business, right?
Right.
You wouldn't let, and you had like a property, you wouldn't let someone just,
Exactly. Yeah, like people. When you also realize that Nintendo is like it's like a global company. Like it's pretty much recognized everywhere. And there's bound to be cultural differences regardless of how the game is or whatnot.
I mean, I think Nintendo's even getting to that point. I think a lot of those Japanese companies are getting to the point where, look, we don't need to have a grown-ass man
with somebody so young.
With somebody so young.
That's why it's kind of like just says that it's cultural differences. Like,
I mean, it's becoming less acceptable in Japan. Like shit, they used to be like, oh, we'll let that slide. We won't talk about it. People are not
letting up.
It's the internet age.
Well, no, like that friggin' pervert, the Rurouni Kenshin guy, who was like, yeah, I'll. Like, we should have known something was wrong with him because he was always like, he's 40-something and he's dressing like he's 20-something, like a hip 20-something-year-old, and he doesn't have the body type for it. I'm like, bro.
There's something wrong with you.
Let me put this one. Even Sakurai, who looks really young for his age, is like wearing the old man shirts.
Yeah, I'm starting to see that he's getting skinnier, a lot older and skinnier.
Yeah, he still looks for his age, he looks really good. But he's not wearing that hipster shit like he used to 10, 15 years ago. Because he's not that young anymore. He can't be wearing shit like that. And, that's just the thing. The Rurouni Kenshin dude, this mofo was wearing some shit like he was like skinny jeans and a hipster hat. I'm like, who does this motherfucker think he is? And then I find out later, oh, wait, he's trying to pick up high school age girls. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
And
yeah,
that makes sense. Enough said.
Yeah, that's why he's dressing like that, because in his head, he's like, yeah.
He's swinging for the fences.
They need to put him in jail so he can get treated like a little girl and see what happens, see how he likes it. Maybe I need to stay away from people's children. I can't even watch Rurouni Kenshin anymore. I'm like, can't do it.
Well, there is a term called separating the art from the artist.
You know what?
But how much do you want? That's still not going to help.
Some people can do that, but it's really hard for me. Like, I can't watch Bill Cosby anymore. I can't watch The Cosby Show. Because it's just so much bullshit and there's so many things that he does where I'm just like, it just screams to me pervert.
Or you can't read Ender's Game anymore because the author is homophobic agenda.
Well, that's the irony about Ender's Game, is that I read it before I found out about that. And here's the thing. Ender's Game, the entire series is about how war is bad and genocide is bad. And when you do such things, it's, the people who do this have a responsibility to fix what they broke. And yet Orson Scott Card, raving homophobe. It's weird. But the message in the work is still, pretty valid. The man might be an asshole, but I mean, I haven't read Ender's Game since then, so take it the way you want to. But I mean, I'm just saying it's not really appropriate to like do stuff like that. To me, I know some people are gonna get mad and be like, "How dare you?" and you shouldn't say that and whatever. But that's how I feel.
So moving on. Reggie is aware of the fan demands for Mother 3 and Animal Crossing for the Switch.
I can only wonder what his reaction is.
Okay, here's what he said in regards to the demands for Mother 3 coming overseas. Again, I know there's a fan base for that title. All I can say is that we're aware. It's something that we always think about in terms of where there are opportunities to reintroduce IP to fans. To do it in a way that builds new fans, we're certainly aware. No promises, no commitments, one way or the other. But we're aware. It's interesting. I show up in the Balasco Theater and one fan is saying, "Hi, Reggie," and another saying, "Where's Mother 3?"
Yeah, didn't he kill a guy in the didn't he burn a guy to death when he said that?
Yep.
In one of those things.
In the animation, yes.
And it's like, "Where's Mother 3? I got something for you right here." Oh, Jesus! Oh, I'm on fire!
And here's what he says in regards to the demand for an Animal Crossing Switch game.
Oh, God.
I did see a lot of internet memes with sad faces from the Animal Crossing group. We see tremendous opportunity in using the mobile platform to introduce IP to consumers who may not be as familiar. Animal Crossing is a great example. Tremendous interaction with Pocket Camp. Fans are really enjoying that experience. We're introducing it to new consumers. That bodes well for whenever the next Animal Crossing might come.
In short, be patient.
I mean, look, clearly they're gonna make an Animal Crossing for the Switch. Okay, at some point. Okay, at some point they're going to make an Animal Crossing for the Switch. I don't know why people don't think it's not going to happen, but it is. Okay.
Well, they're afraid that the next Animal Crossing game for the Switch might be another terrible spin-off like Amiibo Festival.
Sorry, I still get offended hearing that.
Well, I mean, I hate to break this to people, but in my opinion, the best Animal Crossing was the one on the GameCube. Like, it's just been downhill from there ever since.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is an example of an old school elitist for any long-running IPs where they believe only the first installment is better and everything is downhill.
I only get on his case about that when it comes to Generation 1.
Not really. I mean, like if you like, okay, let me put it this way. Like a lot of stuff in Animal Crossing on the
GameCube.
On the GameCube were like you unlocked through gameplay, so it didn't have the bullshit that later iterations had.
Though technically, the first Animal Crossing game came out on the N64 in Japan. Yeah,
but that's only in Japan. I'm saying the first one that actually, came to America, which, I mean, take it or leave it, America is the biggest market for Nintendo right now. So basically, that was the one that introduced Animal Crossing to, Joe Blow average consumer. And the problem with that game, and I stand by this, I know people are going to get mad when I say it, but I'm going to stand by it. The problem with later iterations is they just didn't have the same level of unlockable stuff, Because, I mean, like I said, I'm someone who likes Animal Crossing type games. I mean, I'm the Harvest Moon guy. And Animal Crossing is basically like Harvest Moon in that you do a series of repetitive activities in order to gain money that you can spend on more stuff. The cool thing about Animal Crossing, though, is that, the steps on the GameCube is that, if you played your cards right, you could get your hands on like tons and tons of old NES games, which was awesome.
Well, it's understandable why that got removed in later installs because Virtual Console existed.
Yeah, and that kind of diminished, some of the reason to do all this shit. Because it's like, I can only build so many houses, I can only have so much stuff. But when you add an incentive like, hey, you can get the original Legend of Zelda or Donkey Kong or Legend of Zelda 2 or Donkey Kong 2 or Donkey Kong 3 or some of that other stuff as games, old Nintendo NES games, like full games. I mean, that's really impressive.
Now that there are no plans to bring Virtual Consoles onto the Switch, who knows if they're going to bring it back for the next Animal Crossing game for the Switch?
Probably not, because they can sell you that shit on the NES Classic.
And with that And with that said, it's time to move on to whichever news I could find.
Well, Pink's looking. I could at least say that if anybody played Splatoon 2 recently,
Oh, there's Unravel 2 devs elaborate on the challenges of bringing the game to the Switch.
Yeah, I played that game. Yeah, there's a challenge, all right. Challenge of trying to make it suck. Sorry, challenge of trying to make it not suck.
And
Like,
they said,
normally-
and they said it has nothing to do with EA.
Normally,
that's a stretch.
yeah, I'm not gonna believe that. Normally, when someone tells you they're making a game, right? Right, like they're making a sequel to a game, you think they would fix the problems of the previous iteration, right? Like do something new. Literally the same problems in the first game are in the second one.
How can they miss such a big mistake?
It's like they learned nothing. That's what you should call Unraveled 2. We learned nothing. Oh well. Sprite.
That player is off the air.
Oh snap. But yeah. I mean, I don't know what I can say except I'm not enthralled with certain titles. Like whatever. Let's move on to the second topic, which is
games we're looking forward to next month.
Yeah, games we're looking forward to coming out next month. So, I mean, come on, someone say something.
Let's see. Is Blade Strangers coming next month?
I think so. I'm not 100%
Or
sure.
is it August?
I think it's next month, but don't hold me to that. I could be wrong.
If it's on July, then yeah, that's the one game I'm looking forward to.
Okay. Jewel?
Probably odd that I'm looking forward to getting Sonic Mania Plus.
The physical edition?
Yeah.
That comes in July as well? I thought it was in August.
I was saying I'm looking forward to it. I didn't know how close it is to being released. That's the thing that probably is catching me right now.
All right. For me, I'm looking forward to a couple of games from Sega next month. Ironically, I'm looking forward to Shining Force Refrain, which is the port of the Shining Force game that was supposed to that came out on the PS3 that they never localized. Now they're localizing for the PS4, the Switch, and the Xbox One and PC. I'm looking forward to that game. I'm also looking forward to Yakuza 0 being ported over to the Switch, and no, not the Switch, the PC. Looking forward to that game. I've already pre-ordered both of those games. I dropped like $60 just to get those two games because I'm such a huge fan of Yakuza, and I haven't played a Shining Force game in years. Like the last one I played were two games that were for the PS2 Shining Force games, and they weren't really Shining Force games. They were like kind of like Diablo clones, not so much Shining Force games. But I'm a sucker for Shining Force, so looking forward to seeing it again. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
yeah, we know what you mean, Bert.
yeah, I'm a Shining Force fanboy, and now I get to see it yet again because sucker for the Shining Force. I know some people are gonna get angry when I say that. How dare you ironically, people might not know that Shining Force began by Camelot. Camelot Software. You know, and basically when Sega began to contract, the people left. Camelot left. The people who were Camelot left Sega and were bought out by Nintendo. Like a lot of your favorite studios were kind of bought out by Nintendo. So like the people who make those games you may love, you know, started working at Nintendo. So, you know, they took all the talent. Yeah.
They see where the winds are blowing.
Yeah. You wonder why Square Enix can't make good RPGs anymore? Because like literally the people who did the grunt work, you know, became Monolith Soft, and Monolith Soft is owned by Nintendo now. But that's neither here nor there. If Sprite were here.
Oh, I just realized.
Yeah.
Pink's Mr. Ed. I think you guys were thinking about 20XX.
No, I already have that game on PC. I wasn't really looking forward to that.
Oh,
20XX.
Yeah, it's kind of like Mega Man X, except with the levels are procedurally generated. So you fight the same bosses, but how you get to those bosses is different every time. So it's actually pretty interesting.
Yeah. $18 coming next month.
$18. Ooh, that's nice. I have the game on PC, so
Of course.
You know, well, I got it early. I was like, I don't think I'll get this game early. So, it's nice. I mean, it's like Mega Man X, but like mixed with a roguelike. So, you know, if you like stuff like that, then it's good. If you don't, then
Mega Man Cross. What was it? It's that castle game. Rogue Legacy. That's it.
Yeah, Rogue Legacy. Yeah, it's kind of like that. You know, it's. I mean, it's not the worst game ever, but it's not like. I mean,
it's not polished platinum, but it's definitely no turd.
I mean, I mean, like, here's the thing. Because we haven't had a Mega Man X game in years, it kind of feels coming. A little. Yeah, but that's a Mega Man game. Like, the Mega Man X games feel distinctly different from, the old school
Mega Mans.
Yeah, because X moves a lot faster and it's a lot more powerful, and he can do a lot more stuff than, you know, old school Mega Man can. Not that that's bad, but it's just, you know, it feels different if you're playing as Mega Man. So, but that's neither here nor there. I'm a sucker for the. I'm looking forward. I mean, like, you know, I'm looking forward to the new Mega Man game, but that doesn't come out until the fall. So, I am looking forward to it, though. I am a sucker for the Mega Mans, as they say.
Though, quick question: has anybody heard from Fantasy Strike since they said summer 2018, and I'm seeing no date?
Fantasy Strike. That's the game that's it's like Advance Wars, except with medieval fantasy units and not like, you know, technology.
If you guys played a card game called Yomi, then you probably get this from Sterling Games.
Never mind. I'm thinking of the wrong thing. That's okay. Yeah, I mean, you know. Any other games anyone's looking forward to coming out in July?
Is Coda Princess EX also coming in July, or is it on?
That's coming soon, really. Yeah.
Could be. If I didn't already have like 2 versions of that game, I'd be really impressed. But I already have like 2 versions of that game, so I'm less than enthused about it.
I had never owned the original.
Yeah.
Or the other version, so this will probably be my first time.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the problems of like being an avid gamer, is that you just have so many versions of games. It's like, you know, it's kind of hard to get excited about some stuff because, like,
And I'm also hoping I could get the physical copy of Ukulele.
Ukulele. If I didn't already have 2 versions of that game, because I kickstarted it, so I got the Wii U version, not the Wii U version, the PC version, and then I downloaded the Wii U version. So
you mean the Switch version? Because it never came out. It never came to the Wii U.
Sorry, not the Wii U version, the Switch version. And at this point, it's like I don't really, it's like I don't want to double dip. Well, it triple dip at this point,
I get you. And
the problem is the physical copy is being released by Limited Run Games.
Oh God.
Yeah. Good luck getting that. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Pinks.
Yeah.
The Code Princess game that you were looking for.
Uh-huh.
That's near the 1st of August.
Oh, that's on my birthday.
Wow.
So I'll probably buy that on my birthday. Of course, since I just mentioned the date of my birthday, so there'll probably be a birthday podcast on the 1st.
We'll see.
It depends on what day that falls. If it falls on one of the days where I'm gonna be like trying to recover from working in the city, then I'll throw something together for you because we always try to do something on people's birthdays, more or less. But yeah, I mean, if you're not too busy playing your games.
Okay. So anyway, we can move on to the next topic. Games from the big 3 that we wish could be brought back.
That's right. So first we're going to do the big 3, and then we'll do the others, who maybe aren't part of the big 3. One of them I'm just going to say is Sega, who I don't know. I continue to think of them as being the big 3, even though they aren't anymore because of bad decisions. But
that's putting it lightly.
I'm trying to be charitable, but really bad decisions.
Yeah.
So who wants to go first?
Probably I go first. From Microsoft, I wish to see Banjo-Kazooie resurrected.
Oh God.
I could do you one better, but I'll hold my tongue for this.
Let me add a caveat here. I would like to see Banjo-Kazooie resurrected. I would not like to see Rare make it.
The good news is that Rare's IPs are going to be developed by other companies.
They're being farmed out, just like Killer Instinct was farmed out, and probably how
and Battletoads is being farmed out as well.
Battletoads, because they don't have the skills to make games anymore. Oh, that was me. Oh, ouch.
I was about to say, that's burned.
How could I say that about what was once one of the best developers of all time? I can say that because they were once one of the best developers of all time, and they suck now. So, and I'm not gonna lie and be like, "Oh, they're not that bad." Yeah, they're that bad, folks. But yeah, what style of game would you like? Describe what type of, not just I want
probably return to the platformer roots.
3D platformer. Okay.
Yeah. Probably take inspiration from Super Mario Odyssey or A Hat in Time.
The Collectathons.
Yeah.
I can see that.
And probably the development studio's own twist on the genre, on the Banjo-Kazooie formula.
I can see that.
Oh, and Sprite is back.
Yeah.
How's it going, Sprite?
Good. I had a little outdoor garden to attend to real quick.
Okay, I'm not gonna dig too deep because I have quite a few friends who are into horticulture of a certain vein. But yeah, Yeah, we're on the IPs we want to see resurrected, but you can give us your games you're looking forward to in July.
Oh, that's a given. Octopath Traveler.
Damn, I forgot to say. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that too.
Yeah, I forgot that game was also coming in July.
Yeah, when I saw that game, I was like,
that was too obvious.
That
I
game.
I thought you guys would say it.
When I saw that game, I was like, this game is the Final Fantasy we deserve.
Yeah. That's it. It's, aside from like some indie stuff, like there's a Mega Man X game called 20XX that's coming out on Switch eShop next month.
I mentioned that earlier.
And then there's a game called Ghost 1.0 that's been out on Steam. That's actually a pretty good game. That comes out on Switch next month too.
Is Blade Strangers also coming next month?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, that game is basically the battle royale with
the indie characters like Shovel Knight, Isaac,
which is actually really cool.
Like the new Octopath demo that came in, had that 3-hour time limit. Like I know we had that podcast that week. That's why I wasn't around. 'Cause I was too busy playing that.
Yeah,
3 hours.
Yeah, it's only 3 hours, but man, do those 3 hours go a long time.
Yeah, I want to say this is the first JRPG where it seems like you can pretty much beat the game with just only one person. Like that's the thing that finally beats the whole. Oh, let's have a 3-4 character party trope.
Hey, I kind of like that at times. At least depending on how the story runs it.
Yeah. And I've noticed that the more party members you had, the more difficult the bosses would be. Like, yeah, so. Because I've done some multiple playthroughs.
Yeah, well, the way I think Octopath Traveler is situated, I think there's each character has their own storyline, and then there's like an overarching storyline. I think the overarching storyline's a bit longer. Like, I don't think you can do that in one playthrough, but at least I hope you can't do it in one playthrough, because that would be kind of a shitty.
That would be a blowout.
Well, I mean, you're talking about an old school JRPG. I mean, I personally would not want to beat that in one sitting.
Yeah, it looks pretty. Yeah, they said it's about. They say it takes around 60 hours to complete just the regular story, and it's like 80 to 100 hours to do everything.
Yeah, that's definitely not one sitting. That's a lot longer than one.
That's several weekends.
I mean, that's like a solid summer vacation. That's a solid spring vacation. You take a week off, and you're like, well, I'm just gonna be playing this damn game.
As I said, that's several weekends of hardcore play.
And since I like stuff like that, I'm totally down with that.
And the reason why JRPGs are not consumer friendly because how much they waste hours.
I'll probably just spend that like that it comes out on a Friday, but like that next week I'll probably just spend that whole week just playing that.
No, that's I mean, actually I think the long amount of gameplay time you get is very consumer friendly because you get value for your money.
Of course, you also got some hardcore gamers complaining about games these days not being 60, 80, or 100 hours long because of how they take about only 5 hours to complete the main game.
I mean, that's basically
people are complaining that RPGs are too long, yet they want short games.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm saying. I'm like, if you have an RPG and it can be beaten in literally like
a single day,
like 5-6 hours. Like, that's not an RPG I want to play that you can beat in 5 or 6 hours.
How's it going, Alex?
Hello.
How's it going, man?
Yeah.
I mean, would you trust an RPG that you could beat in 5 or 6 hours? I wouldn't.
Unless you go speedrun or just knowing the game by heart, like the back of your hand, then that's different. Like Mario RPG, I could beat that in like single digits.
Well, I mean, okay, Chrono Trigger. If you play a new game plus, you could beat in like 5 or 6 hours. Even less if you've done 2 or 3 new game pluses. with high level characters. But generally speaking, Joe Blow, average consumer, isn't going to do that. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, well, you could beat Growlancer 2 in like 15 hours. Like some of the early Growlancer games are pretty short.
Fair enough.
Yeah, especially the second one.
If an RPG can be beaten in under a single day or at least 8 hours, that's nearly a Flash game to me. Well, Flash game RPG, but still.
That seems kind of cheap to me.
Didn't Ubisoft put out an RPG that was only 6 hours long or something like that?
Yeah, that was Child of Light.
Yeah, I wonder how that turned out.
Well, a lot of people like that game. The studio that made it got shuttered because their next game didn't sell that well. But
which one was that?
It was this army. It was this game set in World War I, some shit like that. I can't remember. It wasn't fantastic. It
was that horrid.
I'm one of those people who wasn't enthralled with Child of Light. I'm it's okay. It's not the best RPG ever, but you have to remember,
it's decent.
I'm an RPG nut, so I've played a lot of RPGs.
Huh. Considering I'm a collector, I'm a card game fan and an RPG fan, I can understand where you're coming from.
I've played a ton of RPGs, so my threshold for what is a good RPG is different than Joe Blow average consumer. Sprite, your thoughts? You're there.
On Child.
Which games from the big three you want to see brought back to life?
Yeah. Then we'll get to Alex since he's there.
Let's see. In terms you say in terms of the big three.
Yeah, we're doing the big three first.
Okay.
Actually, no. Let's do Microsoft first since Pinky started off with Microsoft. He wants Banjo-Kazooie, but not done by Rare, as it is right now. So I was like, no, please, God, don't let Rare do it. After Banjo Nuts and Bolts, I never want them to do another Banjo game.
Well, that's a tough one with Microsoft. I think this is one sleeper hit I can think of, and it was only on the original Xbox, and that's Blinks the Time Cat.
They don't own that IP anymore. You got to pick another one.
Fuck. Well, let's go with Conquer.
Okay, all right. Alex,
something just to have something unique to the Xbox brand.
Conquer. Okay. Well, you got to give us an idea of what you would like, not just we want the game. What type of game would it be? Stuff like that.
I think it needs to just stick with its roots. Not just necessarily to be just an HD remake of the 64, but just an actual good sequel to Conker's Bad Fur Day. Had all the adult content, the humor, and everything. Just go balls to the wall because hey, they can get it. They pretty much can do whatever they want in this day and age because the ESRB.
Make it M-rated with cussing and no pixelation and breasts and cussing and violence and
jizz.
Yeah, you can have that too. you can look. Listen. If you can have a dude, if you can have a bee talking about how he's gonna pollinate this flower. and it's clear they don't show it, but it's clear that he really did pollinate that flower. And Conker's like, what the funny. Fuck? He has this look on his face like, what the fuck? It's actually pretty damn hilarious.
Seeing the looks on his face, I just had that feeling he's thinking, what am I watching?
Yeah, and then my personal one of my favorite characters in the game, that box with the big box on him. He's like, I say, Get this big bitch off of me.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's terrible. But or the rat who eats so much cheese he explodes and dies, but then they bring him back at the end. Or the pitchfork that commits suicide.
I was gonna say, and don't forget the dinosaur, the dinosaur beatdown.
Oh yeah, and how you hatch this cute little baby dinosaur that you sacrifice in order to open this gate. It's just man, Congress Bedford.
Yeah, and the dino ends up being your ride for the big fight against a big caveman.
Well, no, there's two dinosaurs you hatch. The first one is this cute little googly-eyed, like ultra cute dinosaur that gets sacrificed and killed. The second dinosaur is mean as hell and it's like a raptor.
That's the one I was talking about.
Yeah. But yeah, I would love to see another one. Maybe with maybe with a bigger open world, with more stuff going on, but I'd be down with it.
So who's going next?
Alex,
sorry, shots. So I'm trying to think of something.
I guess
okay. You got time because Alex is going.
Would it have to be Microsoft, or can I pick someone different here?
Well, we're going through each of the big three first, and then we're going to go to third parties. Third parties is a bit more open because like there's some third party IPs where I'm like I don't really care who does it, but others where I'm going to be like okay.
Yeah, I don't really have anything. I don't really have anything from Sony or Microsoft that I want to like see revive, but I do have a one for Nintendo, and that's Famicom Detective Club.
Oh yeah. That was surprisingly, even though the presentation for those games is like kind of like
visual novel-ish.
Well, no, the art style looks kind of kiddie, like kid friendly, but some of the cases in those games are dark as fuck.
Yeah, like, I have a repro card of the remake of 2, and it's I liked it very much. Very good.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it.
Yeah. It's like this looks like a nice little 80s JRPG aesthetic. No, it's like someone was murdered horrifically in a closed room case. Shit. This is dark as hell. Damn, Nintendo.
Where they come up with some of this stuff?
It's astonishingly dark. Like you can't believe how dark some of it is.
Yeah,
but
the last game in the series came out in believe it or not, the Satellaview in 97. I believe the game was called like BS Detective Club Lost Memories in the Snow. Yeah, like, but considering that there's no way to like play Satellaview games that they're like intended form, like I don't think that one's ever gonna get a translation or anything.
No, it'll be like the Lost Stones, BS Zelda or the Lost Stones.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see like a Famicom Detective Club Part 3 on the Switch, or on a future platform.
That'd be cool.
I mean, it's a shame that there's only like 2 games. Well, technically only 3 games of the series. You know.
No, there's more than that. There's like 7 of them, but they're all on the NES, and I think none of them were ever like 4 of them on the NES, and the other 3 on the SNES, and I don't think any of them were localized.
Nope.
So, because it's like one of those series where there's a lot of them, but they were never localized. Like Nintendo's bad about that.
Yep. Time to go learn Japanese. Time to go learn Japanese, I guess.
Yeah, I refuse to learn katakana, hiragana, or romaji just to play one video game. Because literally, if you learn Japanese, it's like you're learning 3 languages and not just one. And I refuse to learn 3 languages.
Language.
I just refuse to. I can't. Like, let me put it this way: I learned Spanish, and that was enough. Spanish was enough for me. I don't need to do anymore. I'm good. but technically 2 forms of Spanish: Castilian and South American. You know, that's good enough. I don't need to know anymore. I'm good. English, and Latin, which I guess technically is a Romance language. So I guess that means I kind of sort of can do French and Italian, kind of sort of a little bit. So 3 languages. I'm not learning another 3. Damn it.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. Localize that shit, Nintendo.
Who's going next now?
It's Jewel.
Oh boy, this is a tricky one because I'm actually trying to think of it carefully. But as far as I can think of it, so no.
Okay, then I guess it's me. Here is a Microsoft IP that I would love to see brought back, because Microsoft technically owns this IP. Jade Empire.
Oh, thank you for taking something that I actually wasn't sure about myself.
Yeah, because it only ever came out on the original Xbox. I think when the Xbox 360 had cross compatibility, that was one of the games, and it also came out on the PC. I have it on the PC. I never owned an Xbox system, so. Yeah, I would love to see another Jade Empire. I would like to see like a sequel, maybe a direct sequel, where maybe your main character from the first game is now a master in their own right, and they get to build a school and recruit people. And maybe like the opening of the game is you getting used to your character, like getting students and training them up. And then 50 years pass, and your character's an old person, and you die saving your students, and then a new quest starts with the characters that you've recruited, and they go out and save the world and do cool stuff. Just an idea.
I think I finally got one though. I might be in the wrong here if thinking that way. Jet Set Radio.
No, you can. I mean, it's not Microsoft, but why not?
Yeah, the thing would be trying to make more open world and able to actually use certain able to do your own street art by downloading the image onto a game. Though that would probably be for only when you're playing, not when anybody else is playing.
I'd be down with that. I like that game. I like Jet Set Radio. So yeah. So just like have the ability to make your own decals, your own spray paint decals.
Yeah, and at least see, and if possible, try to have more improv weapons for when you're having to get rid of the law that's trying to chase your tail.
Yeah, that'd be cool. You know what? You know a game that reminded me of kind of like a slower version of Jet Set Radio?
Hit it.
Mark Echo's Getting Up. It was this game.
Third.
It was this game for the PS2 where you basically play as this. You play as this. Kind of like this freedom fighter in this city that's under martial law, and you basically you fight rival gang members, and you tag like various spots around the city, and you had to fight like these Secura cops, and like the game was actually kind of fun. It had decent music. I don't know how much they paid Mark Echo so that they could use his name. But it was a fun little game. I liked it. It wasn't perfect, but it was fun for what it was. Don't everyone talk at once now, no. But let's move on to the next person, which is the next company, PlayStation.
Guess I should go first. Jak and Daxter 4.
Okay, fair enough. I could see that. I'd be cool with that. Alex?
Yeah. Oh, for PlayStation?
Yeah, what PlayStation IP would you like to see brought back?
I don't know. I don't really have anything for PlayStation.
All right. Sprite?
Yeah.
Sprite Wii Mix. Okay, I guess not. Jewel?
This one is actually a weird one because I'm actually curious of if they can actually pull it off. Do anybody know that card game that they try to use with the iToy? I'm actually curious if they can actually pull that off now.
Well, you want them to bring back the iToy?
You mean with PlayStation VR?
Good one.
That's a bridge too far, but go. I mean, hell, why not?
I was always curious if that could actually work.
Well, Sprite, do you have a Sony IP that you would like to see them bring back in a interesting way, and give kind of an example of how you would like it to be structured?
I'll talk about this all the time. I'm just going to talk about it. Jak and Daxter.
All right. So we got two iconic IPs for Sony. We've got from Pinky Don, we got Ratchet and Clank, and from you, we got Jak and Daxter.
Yeah, right. I mean, it don't have to be too hard. I mean, just with like how the power cells in the first game was similar to that of the Power Stars from Mario 64. Like, expand upon that similar to what Odyssey did with the moons. Had these bigger worlds. Doesn't really need that much story because in order to make a new one, I feel like they have to do like a brand new story arc in general. Because Jak 3 was pretty much the end.
They could continue it. It's just now like because basically. Okay, spoiler alert for an over-decade-old game. At the end of Jak and Daxter 3, basically you discover that the precursors are the Oxels, and basically the blessing of the precursors is what Daxter got. He gets turned into an Oxel because that's what the precursors are. They're Oxels. And so basically the Oxels essentially, they went into outer space to explore. So, I mean, basically you could continue the game. Hell, you could do a Jak and Daxter Ratchet and Clank crossover because they just go into space. And that could totally work. Could they do justice to it? I don't know, but I'd be down with it. I mean, you know. I guess it's my turn. The game that I would like to see done by from Sony, and I know some people might get mad at me when I say this, but I don't really care. I would like to see a return of Ape Escape.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good choice too.
Because we haven't seen Jak and shit from Ape Escape.
I was about to say, the last game I saw was Ape Escape 3, wasn't it? And that was way back.
Yeah. Ape Escape was like a fun kind of puzzle action platformer. And, I mean, I would love to see it brought back.
So that I can actually agree on.
That's just me. I mean, I don't know if other people would do that. I don't know how other people would feel about that, but I would love to see an Ape Escape brought back. You could have bigger worlds. You could have more quirks about each area. Like, because basically the whole premise of Ape Escape is that these apes escape from a lab, and some of the apes have they've figured out how to use gadgets from the lab to defend themselves.
And other things that you find in the world that you're going into.
Yeah, and they're led by this really smart ape named Spike, who basically is a super genius kind of. And I mean, it's just a nice little. I mean, it's a nice little puzzle platformer that doesn't get enough credit for what it is, which is so sad because it's fun for what it is. It's not perfect, but I mean, I've always had fun with it, and I could totally see.
But it's fun.
Yeah, I could see an Ape Escape being brought back. Maybe steal something from Sonic Lost World, where you're essentially, you're escaping from enemies that, have, maybe like there's an anti-gravity lab, so like monkeys are on the ceiling or you're on a cube and you think you're going to run off the edge, but it like inverts, so you're still running on the surface, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just me. Anyone else for Sony before we move on to Nintendo?
Nope.
And we can add Sega to it because, in my mind, they'll always be part of the big three, even though they aren't anymore.
Well, I could see them bring back Super Monkey Ball.
Sega. I would love another Super Monkey Ball. Could you imagine what you could do with the motion control, with the gyroscope, and using the Switch with Monkey Ball?
Yeah.
Oh man, that'd be insane. That'd be better than the GameCube version. But I'm a Monkey Ball fanboy.
Well, everyone don't speak up at once now.
Okay then, so I guess we'll go with Nintendo. I'll go first because I just like saying that. So basically, the IP that I would like to see from Nintendo that they haven't touched or done anything with, and I know Spike's gonna get pissed when he hears this, but I don't care. I want another Donkey Kong 64-esque style game.
Oh my god.
I'm trying not to laugh because I know how he's going to react.
Yeah,
you crazy!
No, but seriously, with the technology that they have now, with Mario Odyssey and stuff like that, could you imagine a gorgeous-looking Donkey Kong game where you travel from area to area, exploring, beating the shit out of Kremlings, picking up barrels, throwing them at people? I mean, it'd be great. Maybe have Cranky as a playable character. He just hits people with his cane.
Ow! Ow! Ow!
That's his weapon. He hits people with his cane. And then maybe like his special ability, like one of his special abilities, he drinks a potion that turns him into old school Donkey Kong. He's way bigger than his son. He just beats the shit out of everybody. Like he Hulks out. And when he does it, you hear like the old school Donkey Kong music, like the preamble. Yeah. That would be hilarious. I would be totally into that game. I know some people don't like Donkey Kong Country 64, and I will never not acknowledge its flaws. Its pacing is is off. It sucks that like you go into areas and there's a different colored enemy and you have to go back and switch to that colored Kong in order to get what that enemy drops. I totally get that, but the game has a lot of potential. Plus, it has one of the cheesiest, shitty, good raps ever.
And I've seen people chanting the DK rap during the Smash Invitational.
Look, man. Look, it's kind of like one of those things where it's just if you're not part of the age group where that was appropriate, you're never gonna get it. It's like, it's just one of those things. It's just like,
It's something that really clicks on you when it's heard in your head.
Yeah, Cranky, take it to the fridge.
And the DK Rabbids expansion pack made a reference to the DK rap.
Oh,
like showing Rabbid Cranky taking it to the fridge.
Man,
Literally.
if only I liked that
those
game.
rabbits.
The only problem
Those
is that
peeping rabbits.
I don't like the rabbits, so that kind of.
Rabbits, get out of here!
I don't like rabbits. It's the one thing.
That's all you keep saying.
I know some people are gonna get mad. How dare you? I don't like the rabbits. It's the one. It's the one thing that kind of brings down rabbits for me is that I can't get that game because I don't like the characters in it. But who wants to go next? Nintendo IPs you want to see brought back?
I'll go next.
All right.
It's actually pretty easy, and because I mentioned it before, I actually want them to bring back the Puzzle League series. We haven't even seen that aside from the last thing we got was like the DS game, and then we had a port of Tetris Attack from SNES on Animal Crossing 3DS. That's about it. Because I figured, well, now's the perfect time because not just because how the Switch is with its portability nature, but because it's nice. It'd be nice to have something different from Nintendo, like in terms of like puzzle-esque games. Because the only thing they get shoved down our throats these days is Dr. Mario. And I'm not really a fan of that series to begin with.
I'd like another Tetris Attack game.
Because I know we're getting that the Callus Puzzle Fighter-esque game in a couple months, but I'm like, really, it's nice to get something from Nintendo because really the only puzzle game that's like intriguing me on Switch so far is Puyo Puyo Tetris.
And that's from Sega.
Are you talking about Panel de Pon?
Yeah, that's another name for it. But in America, we knew it as Tetris Attack, even though it has nothing to do with
the
Tetris.
name is weird because then when the N64 came out, they changed the puzzle league with the Pokemon characters.
Yeah, which I don't like that one. I like the original on the SNES and the Game Boy. I don't like the Pokemon one because I like my Pokemon pure. I don't like spin-offs. Give me the only Pokemon spin-off I kind of like is
Do you feel the same with Mario spin-offs as well?
No, because Mario spin-offs pretty much work. When I play Pokemon, I want traditional, catch Pokemon, train it up, fight other Pokemon with it, go through a okay story, then raise it up and fight other creatures with it.
And you should try out Pokemon Mystery Dungeons and Pokemon Conquest.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I like the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games, but the thing is like that's not really a spin-off. That's just a roguelike Sharon's Dungeon game with a Pokemon skin on it. It's not really a real spin-off. Like the Pokemon spin-offs where it's just Pokemon with a skin, like a skin on something else that I'm familiar with. I'm like, I can deal with it, but
like Pokemon Coliseum.
Oh God, no! I hate that game. I thought you said Stadium. I thought you said Stadium. No, Coliseum is fun.
Yeah, it has a good story.
I don't think Coliseum went far enough. I think had Coliseum maybe had some more traditional elements, like you could catch Pokemon, that would have been cool.
Oh, they did an XD, but it was limited.
Yeah, but it was very limited. Like you only had like 30 Pokemon you could catch, which is like kind of like that gives me no incentive to create a team of Pokemon. Which I'm like, you have the GameCube, you have all this wonderful processing power and storage medium, and yet you're only giving me like 30 Pokemon I can catch. That is some bullshit.
Still like to see another Pokemon game in that style for like the Switch in the future.
So would I. That'd be cool. That'd be an IP I'd want to see. Give me, as a matter of fact, give me a Pokemon game that steals the gameplay styles from
Xenoblade.
no Dragon Quest Monsters. I'd be down with that. Where like basically like your special attacks use PP, but your normal attacks don't, and you can use them as much as you want. Well, power points, whatever.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yes, I forgot. We have someone who's really young and juvenile thinking here.
Sorry.
But
Yeah,
no, it's okay.
It's the 15-year-olds coming out on me. You
No,
know?
it's okay.
I'm in my mid-20s.
But yeah, I would totally be down with that. Like I would love to see that just because I like that type of stuff. But that's just me. I know some people are gonna get mad. They're gonna be like, "How dare you say that?" But yeah, I mean, can you imagine a Pokemon game where basically like you level up classic style? You can equip your Pokemon with items, not just an item. They level up. They can learn new skills and abilities and junk. Because basically they've already got like 70% of that already exists in Pokemon games. Because I mean, look, your monkey Pokemon eventually evolves into Sun Wukong from Journey to the West. I mean, shit. They all, you know, the ones from X and Y evolve in the classical creatures. So why not just go all the way and change it up a little bit? I mean, you can still have the traditional, you know, Pokemon, but move it up a little bit because I mean, I hate to say this, Pokemon's getting a little stale.
They've been changed up a bit with Sun and Moon, and you didn't like it. By removing the gyms.
Are you playing Devil's Advocate, sir?
Yes, I am.
Because you know I hate Devil's Advocate, but here allow me to retort, aka like Samuel L. Jackson in Pulp Fiction. Allow me to retort. You know, they did change it, but they took away the little bit of things that I personally found kind of enjoyable for the title. Just, you know, for me personally, like I like gems. I like you know, those types of things in Pokemon games. You know, and them getting rid of it kind of, you know, brought it down a little bit. That's just me. You know, everyone has their own.
So, ready to move on to third parties now?
Yeah.
Did everyone go with Nintendo?
I haven't done my turn.
Yeah. Not everyone's done their Nintendo.
Oh yeah, whoops.
Let's see. I'm thinking the mysterious Murasami Castle they could revive.
That'd be cool. Imagine if they did that using the.
I mean, I know that Hideki Kamiya is interested in making a new title for it.
I could be down with that. The only thing is, it would have to be tempered because Kamiya's games are just. Sometimes he goes a little bit too far. I'm just saying. Just a little bit. Sometimes it just goes a little bit too far.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Dragon over there is gone yet.
Dragon Swords? I didn't know you were in, man. You should have said something.
Yeah, I was muted the whole entire time. Okay, I think someone already stated it, which would be, I guess, the Shadow Pokemon games. Make a return, I guess. But that may be replaced by whatever, I guess, Pokemon games are going to come out to the Switch next year. Yeah.
Okay. So
I'm set for a turn. I got two really that probably be real out there, but one that actually I think somebody would understand. The first one would be the Pocky and Rocky series for actually allowing you to not only shoot in all directions but able to move in all directions like the like the su- like the R type shooter games.
From third parties or from
That's
Nintendo?
This is for Nintendo, but I'm saying this for Nintendo since I think that could be that for third parties, but for Nintendo, I'm thinking the Super Scope series. Since if anything, if Nintendo's going to be trying out some new things, why not bring that back and see if somebody would actually enjoy using the motion controls to actually try to shoot.
That would be fun. I would like to see the Super Scope brought back. Those Super Scope games. That'd
Without
be
the
a very
6 AA batteries.
without the need to use tons and tons of batteries.
I'm surprised nobody thought of that one for Nintendo, but then again, I'm probably going way left field there.
And should I think about reviving the Rob accessory for the Switch?
Oh God, you were older than I did.
I mean, I think they should just do the amiibo. Just use the Rob amiibo in an interesting way. I think that would be better than. Yeah, because Rob was a wonderful gimmick to get kids to like buy it, but at the end of the day, Rob was not the best. Like it was much easier. It was much easier for you to just use the second controller and do the shit yourself. At least that's what I discovered.
Yeah. So if anything, I'm surprised that that people actually think of Rob in that sense.
I mean, he got people into playing those types of games, so I can't get too mad at it. But
or perhaps they could re-release another Game & Watch collection.
Bring back Mr. Game Watch. That'd be cool.
Sure, okay.
Do something different.
If we're doing this now, look. We need another Wario Land. I'm sorry, we really do. If I had to look at another freaking Wario game,
Sprite, there are rumors that there's going to be a virtual Wario Land remake for the 3DS.
Make it happen.
You mean the Wario Land remake that came to the Virtual Boy that they never brought over? That's actually pretty good. It's a little short, but it's pretty good.
Yep.
That'd be cool. I'd be down with that. I'd be cool with it. I mean, I just like Wario. I think the Wario Land games were basically, especially they kind of like initially it was kind of like a slower paced puzzle for compared to Mario, but then
Super Mario, as in it's the slower companion to the Super Mario World game series, right?
Well, the handheld Mario games, and
That's
then
what I was thinking.
And then it kind of merged into being like a puzzle action adventure game where you had to figure out how to use Wario's abilities in order to,
Yeah. There's some like Game Boy era stuff that just never been brought back. Kind of like how Sarasa Land and Mario Land 1, that's never been brought back. I'm like, is that I'm like, I know Gunpei Yokoi made that game. I'm like, do you just not use that world anymore just out of respect because he tragically passed away?
No, they're just weird, man. Nintendo.
But then again, if that was the case, then they wouldn't be releasing Balloon Fight for the 8,000th time.
Yeah, Nintendo's weird about that. Like all the Japanese companies are weird about that. Like they keep on pimping out Cloud Strife from Final Fantasy VII, but all these other characters that are just as, if not more interesting, just get no love. It's weird, man. It's weird.
Wow, that's how I feel about Mega Man. Like I feel like Mega Man 3 is the best one out of the classic series, but they keep doing all these Mega Man 2 remixes and stuff instead.
And people like Mega Man 2.
It's a good game, but I just prefer 3.
I mean, 3 gave us the slide,
Slide and rush.
charge shot, and like the rush beat
Yeah.
thing. And,
Charge shot wasn't until 4.
yeah, you're right. But I mean, it gave us a lot of cool stuff. But 2 is just 2 has better music. It's more iconic.
Yeah.
Especially that Wily music. Oh man, that Wily music.
Yeah, I feel like even those that never played a Mega Man game, they recognize that tune.
But that's neither here nor there. I guess we can move on to third party. So what third party IP that you guys want to see brought back?
Man, there's so many.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if I can just maybe reduce it just like 2 from like a company. It can be a Japanese or Western.
Okay.
Sega, you already know what I'm about to say. Either Streets of Rage or Jet Set Radio.
Streets of Rage.
Because we've seen some beat 'em ups come back in a smaller caliber, like on Switch eShop and stuff. Like that would be nice. Just because it's a third party IP, that doesn't mean we got to charge people $40, $50, $60 for it. Like just make a brand new Streets of Rage, sell it for like $15, and people around our age and stuff will eat it up if it's good. That's what I'm saying. I will also say the same for like something from Konami, whether it be like Contra or something.
I'd be cool with that. Alex?
Well, mine are kind of obvious. It's like, yeah. Well,
okay.
Yeah, it's Girl Answer.
Just a girl. Okay, all right.
Yeah, I mean, like, speaking of that series, like, did you hear that the artist for that series, Satoshi Arujihara, he's losing his vision?
Oh no.
Yep.
That sucks.
What I did have a number one besides Girl Answer, though. I think. Let's see. For where was it? Yeah, like Sprite said, Contra, and like to see another Contra game.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of a Western IP that I can think of that I would like to see brought back, but it's not coming to me.
Gex?
Command and Conquer.
Aside from Rareware.
The real Sim City.
Thank you. That's what I was looking for.
A real Wing Commander game. Let's see. Civilization is still going on. A real, like how Maxis used to make Sim spin-offs that were actually good, like Sim Town, Sim Ant, Sim Earth.
Yeah. Did Real Right just like sell Maxis to EA just for money's sake? Or, like,
they ran him out. He wanted to make Spore, and EA forced him to use that shitty DRM that crippled the game because the game was very online dependent, and the DRM made it worse. And now the servers for the game are gone, so you can't there's parts of Spore you can never play. And Spore Dark Hero, totally online dependent. You can't even play that game anymore because the servers have been plucked.
Okay, so they were acquired by EA in 1997, and so it's been a while. And I think pretty much the last good Sensei was 4. Now it's in 2003. Basically, the last couple of years before EA went just complete doo-doo.
went to shit. Yeah, I have to agree with that one.
After 6 gen, it's like, what happened?
I do have a couple more to add.
Okay, go ahead.
Number one would be Sakura Wars.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. But I heard Sega's making another one of those. So.
Yeah, like 6. Hope they don't screw it up, considering it's Sega.
Yeah, you had to add that because it is Sega.
Yeah, that is Sonic Team. Well, if it's done by Sonic Team, yeah, it's gonna be kind of inconsistent. They did so good with Puyo Puyo Tetris, and then they came out with Sonic Forces.
And
the same year.
Also, Dino Crisis.
Oh yeah, I'd love that.
Yeah, like Resident
Even
Evil
better.
with dinosaurs.
Do a crossover with Resident Evil and Dino Crisis. It's like I
that'd be
shot
pretty
this
sick.
dinosaur. It's a zombie dinosaur. It
Yeah.
won't die.
Oh,
Have
I've,
Leon in there, and Chris Redfield. He punches a dinosaur in the face and blows up his head. like in RE6. Like he punched a meteor. I mean, a boulder to stop a volcano.
Yeah, there's so many Capcom IPs that need to come back. It's a shame.
Captain
Needs to be
Commando.
Commando.
Needs to be
Dio-
another fighting game
Yeah.
besides Street Fighter. That's what I feel like. Bring
Red
back Power
Earth.
Stone.
Darkstalkers.
Yeah, that would work too.
Yeah, they tried to bring Darkstalkers back. That game flopped though. So
You just mentioned one of the games I was going to say that they could have resurrected.
Oh, I'm sorry.
what was that?
Darkstalkers.
Yeah, they tried to bring that back. That game flopped though, so I can't. I mean,
Technically, I have another game as a backup.
Yeah. Dragon Sword, do you have one? Third party.
It's actually a recent addition, which is Sleeping Dogs, because we have not seen a sequel for a pretty long time.
You know what? I'm gonna one up you because Sleeping Dogs was okay, but I'll tell you an old IP that I want to see brought back. Someone's a little gassy. It's what Sleeping Dogs used to be based off of before Activision sold the code, but not the IP, which is weird.
Crime?
True crime. I want to see what happened to Nick Kang and why he was suspended from the force in the first place. God damn it! Look, Josh, what's his name? Josh Chan. He's a Korean guy. Look, he's still alive. He can do the voice. Christopher Walken's still alive. Get these people together so we can finally find out what happened to Nick Kang. The technology's better. Activision has money. They could actually, have this stuff have better. Have this stuff have better graphics. You could have more radio stations. Bring it back. Hell. But it has to have DeMiz's I'll Do Anything theme song in it, just because, like, for me, that's like my favorite true crime song.
So I guess it's my turn. The one third-party game I wish to see revived is Half-Life 3.
Well, I mean, revived, you mean made, right?
Right. Just so that those memes can die in peace.
I'd be cool with another Half-Life game. I mean, I don't know how they'd make it, but I'd be cool with it. I'd be like, this was worth the wait. It's only been like 15 years. It's only been 10 years. I don't know. I mean, I would like to see it. Would it happen? I don't know, but I would like to see it.
Yeah, I have another one.
Okay, go ahead.
Metal Slug.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, but that's NEC. We all know how NEC is.
SNK.
Oh, SNK.
NEC. SNK.
Yeah, that's like.
Yeah, I have every game pretty much except for like the stuff like the GBA and the Neo Geo Pocket.
Do you have their Crystalist game?
I don't. I just have 1 through. I just have 1 through 7 and Double X. On PS4.
Oh no, I mean, never mind.
Oh yeah, Crystallis.
Yeah, Crystallis. I have the NES and the SNES and the Game Boy version of that Game Boy Color. They're both really good. Except Crystallis is way too hard. Like it's like old school RPG where it's like if you go into an area and you're not leveled up enough or you don't have the best equipment, you will get your ass handed to you.
Like Shin Megami Tensei, right?
Oh yeah, it's like, man, I didn't get the fire sword and I wandered into the wrong area. Man, am I fucked? That's basically what happened to Crystal. It's like, like I was one-shotting most enemies. Oh no, these dudes are killing me, and like these dudes, I'm hitting them, and it's doing nothing, and they're wiping me out because that's what happens in this game.
Also, here's another one here. Like, I don't know if you've heard of this one, but apparently there's like in the Sega CD like community, there's this one game that they've been like begging to be fan translated for like many years now.
Rent-A-Hero?
It's Illusion City.
Oh yeah. Isn't that like an RPG?
Yeah, it's basically like Snatcher
it's like Shin Megami Tensei, but
and Snatcher like thrown together in a blender.
Yeah, I've heard it.
Good. Yeah, I'd like to see a reboot of that or something. Would be nice to see.
Yeah, I'd be cool with that.
I'm trying to figure out what I got one. Since Capcom is bringing back Mega Man with number 11, then how about some of the other ones, the other sub-series that still ended in a cliffhanger, like Mega Man X8 cliffhanger, Mega Man Legends 2 cliffhanger.
Yeah, because Mega Man's still on the damn moon. I mean, how are you gonna leave Mega Man Volnut?
Yeah,
my thing is
like I understand Mega Man Classic is the most popular, but at the same time, that series never really was story driven like the other Mega Man sub-series.
No, I mean, because they made sequels. Like, I want to know what happened to Mega Man, to Rockman, the original. Make a Rockman Cross X game, okay? Just so that I'm not like, well, what the hell happened to Mega Man? Because
the closest we got to that is a fan game called Mega Man Unlimited. It had like a prototype version 0.
Yeah,
the final boss.
I disagree. Like I keep on hearing people who are like really into the lore of Mega Man. They're like, well, Zero defeated Mega Man, and I'm like, that doesn't make sense. And they're like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, because the prototype for Zero is Base, right? Base is the prototype for Zero.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it is.
And Mega Man,
Wally's last creation was 0. Mike's last creation was X.
And Mega Man, and here's the thing, like Mega Man has kicked Base's ass multiple times, even though on paper, Base is about 50% more powerful than Rock is. Like he should kick his ass.
Yet he gets his scrap kicked.
But then you have to remember, Mega Man at this point has fought robots that on paper are much stronger than him 11 times now, and he's kicked all their asses. Yeah. So why would anyone think that a robot that was just created by Dr. Wily, even though it's more powerful than Mega Man, could beat someone who has that much experience being overpowered? And
shouldn't he have over 100 different weapons for his arsenal right now?
That's how he keeps setting those.
His tactical skill level is off the charts. Like he can. Like Rockman, normally I don't like to use Death Battle as a thing, but they said Mega Man versus Mega Man X. Mega Man X is more powerful than Mega Man, but X is more powerful than Rock, but Rock has way more fighting experience, especially fighting enemies that are stronger than he is. Like, I mean, really, if you're gonna take on Mega Man, you should really, X, you should send someone just as powerful as he is instead of someone weaker, someone stronger than him. Because, you're playing into his game because that's all he does is fight enemies that are way more powerful than he is. But I could be wrong. Anyone else have anything? Anything else they want to say?
Oh yeah. How about Burning Rangers and Deep Fear?
Burning Rangers. Actually, I ripped like all the
music.
I ripped all the music. Like and I don't even have a Sega Saturn, but I ripped the music just so that because it's a red box. It's a red box game, so you can rip it's also got the audio track on it just for that music because it's so good. Yeah. And bring back those Daytona games, because that guy who sings Daytona, he's way too fucking happy.
And Deep Fear as well.
That's
the Sega's own answer to Resident Evil.
Yeah, except it's like on a
Underwater.
Perfectly, yeah. It's like on a submarine or a submersible vessel or like
Yeah.
a research station or some shit.
Yeah, research station.
I mean, yeah, I could see that brought back. Although if they bring it back, they have to keep that awkward ass English voice acting.
Yep.
This kind of was like it was shitty, but it was so shitty that it was good.
Like Resident Evil 1.
You were almost a Jill sandwich.
Stop
Now
it.
you're the
Don't
master
open
of
that
unlocking.
door. Don't open that door.
You're the master of unlocking. Like, really, dude? Really? Seriously?
Yeah, there's actually like a script to that on the internet. Like, wow, like someone actually wrote this.
It's like clearly, I personally think either these were Japanese people who didn't sound Japanese and couldn't read English very well, or it was English voice actors who couldn't read who were reading badly translated Japanese. I think the latter was more the case than the former. But I could be wrong. I mean, who's to know? You know what can we say? I guess it's my turn. From Sega, I would like to see Golden Axe return. I know they did like a shitty PS3 game with Terra Flamestar, the chick with the fire magic, and like Golden Axe Beast Rider, but that game sucked. So I'm gonna disregard that. I would like to see them do a Golden Axe game, but use the Yakuza engine to do it. So then you don't have to spend a lot of money, and just give people like a city to explore, and then on top of the city, like go outside the city in order to like do other things, and things you do influence the city. So let's say you go out and you help some Beastman tribe, right? And if you help them out, that means that more food will come into the city because the Beastmen will, they'll sell their goods that they hunt in the city. So like food will get cheaper, so it'll make it easier for certain things to go through. But I think they still have to keep the whole kicking the shit out of little elves in order to get potions. Because it's not Golden Axe unless you have that little aspect added to it. Just kicking the shit out of little random elves for potions. It just doesn't feel like Golden Axe if you don't have that aspect of the game. Like, what are you doing? I'm kicking the shit out of these elves. That's what I'm doing. Yeah, I would totally be down with a game like that. But that's just me. I could be wrong. Anyone else?
I got anything else I can think of?
Currently reading Alex's latest article.
Square Enix. What could Square Enix bring back? Anything
Romancing Saga. They could bring back Romancing Saga. Although from what I've seen about Octopath Traveler, Octopath has a lot of a Romancing Saga vibe on it. Like really a lot of Romancing Saga vibes on it.
I was thinking anything from Taito when they acquired them.
Chrono Trigger.
No, that's
a
Square
real
Enix.
Chrono.
So
Taito.
I'm thinking like Bubble Bobble and stuff.
I didn't know they bought Taito. I don't know.
They haven't done anything.
Taito. I don't know who they could get. I'm not sure.
I just like I said, Bubble Bobble's probably the best thing.
I don't know who else I could go with. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I can't think of nothing else either. And some of the stuff I think of is like Japanese only, but
I'd like to see another Bouncer.
Oh yeah, Bouncer, yeah.
Tokameki Memorial.
I call that's the thing. Yeah, I call the Bouncer. That's basically when they have like I call it Beta Kingdom Hearts because one of the main characters looked like Sora.
Yeah, but it had more realistic art style, so it wasn't.
Yeah.
And plus, you get to kick the shit out of that guy who looks like Sora. So any game that lets me beat the shit out of someone who looks like Sora, I'm down with. Let's see. We haven't had an ogre battle game in years. Square Enix. You bought Quest Software. Please make another ogre battle, and not like ogre battle tactics, because we have Final Fantasy Tactics for that. I mean,
too.
I want an ogre battle where you command like squadrons of people to go around killing people, like kind of like Ogre Battle 64, but bigger. Maybe you could take the combat. You could have the combat where it's like squadrons fighting each other, and then you could have combat where it's like kind of like squadrons fighting each other army style, and then you could have combat where it's like Suikoden, where you're leading like the commander of a squadron around, and then you have like a more traditional RPG style party fighting, individual commands type fight. Something like that. I'd be cool with it. But I'm one of those people. I like ogre battle, so not that Square Enix is gonna do shit with it.
Of course not. Because
it's Square Enix. If there's a way to mess something up, they'll find it. Like, I mean, how do you mess up a re-release of Chrono Trigger? Well, Square Enix did. Simple shit. No, man, we can't do it. But it's simple. No, man, you gotta mess it up. Square Enix. Any other third-party game? Anyone? Chime in now before we wrap things up.
I already shot mine, so I'm out.
What about Gex?
Who owns that?
That's Crystal Dynamics. That's Crystal Dynamics. Although I don't think they're still in. I think it's in limbo. I'd like another Gex game. It could be like Ukulele.
Mm-hmm.
Ukulele, you're going into books. Gex, you're going into TV shows. Except now, since TV's kind of falling apart, it wouldn't be TV. It would be.
He'd probably go through YouTube videos.
No, I was gonna say it would probably be you're going through the internet. Like you're jumping from internet website, yeah, or like content provider to content provider. Except maybe flesh it out, like maybe you've got like 8. Each one is its own world, its own hub world with all these little things going on in it. Kind of. I'd be down with that.
That would.
But then again, I'm a sucker for Gex. Like I have all those games for the.
You got Gex, Get Into the Gecko, and Gex 3.
And the Game Boy Color game. I have
Game Boy Color.
Yeah, there's a Game Boy Color Gex that's basically a down port of the original Gex for the 3DO.
That's what I was remembering, because that sounds like somebody tried to squeeze Gex into the Game Boy Advance.
Well, I mean, it's not that it's not a great down port, but it gets the job done. It's nothing special, but I mean, I'm going to keep it. The N64 Gex games are a lot better, especially the second one. The first one's kind of basic, but the second one's really good. Anyone else want to mention anything before we wrap things up?
Zone of the Enders?
Oh, damn, that'd be awesome.
Whose dog is barking?
That'd be Sprite, since I saw his mic go off.
He's the only one who has a dog, I think. Yeah, I'd be cool with another Zone of the Enders.
Especially like a sequel to like the Fist of Mars. Have you played that one on the GBA?
Oh yeah, that's the tactical one. That's like more like a old school tactical grid based RPG.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one. That one was made a lot more sense than the stuff that we had in the other Zone of the Ender games. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Kojima wasn't involved in that one at all.
Oh, well, no wonder that's like my favorite one.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, that one made sense. Like, I mean, cause the thing about Zone of the Enders is that the mainline ones is that they suffer from Gundam-itis, which is why is it that this kid who has no real training can somehow pilot this ultra advanced fighting machine? Like
because
that makes
what?
Because well, they retconned it with the other series, like, well, they're a Type 0, which is just a fancy way of saying, well, they're a mutant.
Prototype.
So there you go. No, the person is a Type 0, which is just someone who's a mutant who's adept at piloting, which is bullshit, because I mean, it's kind of like with the first Gundam. Like, this is why the first Gundam I give it kind of a pass, because the first Gundam, the reason Amuro Ray is kicking everyone's ass is because he's the only one who has a Gundam. Right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's other series of Gundam that I actually would work with, like the G Gundam series that actually
but that guy had tons of training as a martial artist. Like the other, like in the first Gundam, Amuro Ray, the reason he's kicking everyone's ass in the first 10 episodes is because basically he's the only one who has a Gundam. Once Char gets a Gundam, he's like, yeah, I've been doing this shit for years. I'm really good at piloting Gundams. I'm going to kick your ass. And he does. And it works. It just so works.
That's why I was thinking that all these people that have the zero training somehow are able to curb stomp professionally trained, powerful warriors, all because it's Gundam.
Yeah, and I mean, because the Gundam that Amuro Ray has in Gundam was supposed to go to Lula Flaga, who's this guy who had been piloting mechs for years. Like, he was really good at it, and it made sense that he would know how to pilot a mech. So. But anyway, anyone else have anything they want to add before we wrap things up?
Nothing else.
All right, then I guess we're done. Pimp out what you want to pimp out, and then we'll wrap things up.
This is Pedophile from Video Game Facts. I just recently posted an article about my thoughts on this week's Splatfest.
Same.
And Drew and I are on the losing team.
Yeah, we're gonna have our orange juice with a little sodium this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I could have sworn it was gonna be a one-sided victory, just like those European Splatfest themes.
But no, it's the curse of the popularity.
People like orange juice without pulp.
People.
Yeah.
You were in team no pulp. But
oh, you lost? Oh man, that's amazing. I guess you were dealing with health nuts who really like the idea of fiber.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Pearl's commentary when she got the win. Oh God.
Yeah,
Pinky, do you want to go for it?
Her dialogue's in rap form.
Like always.
Yeah, and saying that we got no guts to rub it in too.
I go ahead and give my son off next.
Go ahead.
All right, Sprite Mix here. Nothing going on except I try to live stream on Twitch, but that's about it. The pizza man was at the door, so that's why my dog went off. But other than that, I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy this dinner, and Whether or not you chose Team Pope or Team No Pope, at the end of the day, it's orange juice, and we all was sadly victims of it.
The orange juice.
Oh God.
Don't be afraid of the juice. No. Alex. Okay. Dragon Sword.
Don't have much, really. Yeah. This is Dragon Swords 15. Pretty much heading out. Yeah.
All right. I guess it's up to me, Mr. Red Fox here. Sorry I wasn't as involved as I normally would, but I mean, look, I'm a gamer, been playing a game at the same time talking to you guys. And that's on me. I'm sorry. I'll try not to do it again. So yeah, we had a wonderful
Play an RPG
podcast.
when you do that.
Talked about some basic things that needed to be talked about. And it was totally worthwhile. So with that being said, peace, good night, and enjoy.